dehydration, what percentage, like obviously this is going to be impossible to calculate, but like of your view and your experience with dehydration, what percentage do you think of us as a population, you know, in Western culture and in, you know, first world countries, what percentage of people do you reckon are dehydrated?
So my opinion is probably 90% of us.
Wow.
You know, including my yogis and my athletes that come in, you know, the ones who think they're doing fantastic. I think none of us, you know, really do it right. It's very rare to find somebody who does it really right. But, you know, the number that seems to go around is 75% of us. And, you know, the difference is you want to differentiate between overt dehydration, you know, which we know as doctors what that looks like. You know, you've had vomiting and diarrhea whenever you end up in the ER and your eyes are, you know, popping out of your head. That's overt dehydration. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about this subclinical or low grade sort of day in, day out dehydration that we all experience unless we're on top of it at all times. It's the one thing in my practice that I really am a stickler for, meaning, you know, diet. I subscribe to the 80-20 rule. Give me 80% and I'm really happy, you know, but hydration, I really want 100%. You need to be on top of it day in, day out, hour by hour. And we could talk about what that, you know, what that means and what that looks like. It's hard. It's really hard because there's no simple test or no simple measurement, but we all have to sort of live in our bodies, not be cut off from the neck down, know what it feels like to be properly hydrated, and then stay on top of it. And, you know, thirst is not a great measure. It's if you're thirsty, you're already too far gone.
Yeah.
So.
And for men, it's kind of almost easier when you stand at a urinal because you can see your urine. Whereas I think for women, it's harder because you tend to sit and it's not as, you know, your hardware is different. So you've got to kind of make an intentional effort to look at, you know, what color is my urine. Whereas for a man, like it's harder not to look than it is to look. You know, you'll kind of go, oh, geez, it's very yellow. I better have a drink of water.
Yeah. So, you know, it turns out, and since my book, the book's actually about 4 years old. Since then, that I no longer think that actually looking at the color of your urine is such a great way to measure dehydration. It's okay, meaning, you know, if you in the morning you look at the color of your urine and you know what your concentrated urine should look like, and then by the end of the day it's clear, then that's sort of, you kind of know. But it turns out it's not the best way to know if you're hydrated. The best way is to actually look at how much urine output you have in a day. So I think if the one thing that you can take home today is we are meant to urinate every 2 or 3 hours during our waking hours. And if you're not doing that, then you're not hydrating well enough. And I think that that's a really important thing. I know me, I'll sit at my desk 8 hours straight, never get up once. And I'm like, oh, what am I doing? You know, you forget. And we also condition ourselves to do that because we want to work harder and we want to, you know, or we don't, you know, we want to take an 8-hour drive somewhere we're driving, so we don't drink purposely. It's important for many reasons. Number one, you're getting up, you're stopping, you're moving. But it's important to pee every 2 or 3 hours. It's a really good, I think that is like a very important marker to think about.